Hey guys, Dr. Gilmore here, just hanging out Monday night, fasting day. Had a great weekend. My voice sounds a little bit raspy. I'm not sick. I had a cold or something last week and not had any fevers or chills or anything like that. I feel just fine. It's apparently gave me a little bit of laryngitis, but I'm totally okay. So thought I'd, Deborah, wouldn't you know? How you doing, Deb? How are you and Lee? Hope you guys had a safe trip back. Missed you guys. So great having you here. I'm glad to see you. Howdy. What are you up to? Say something. Oh, you can't say. You can type. So I'm just kind of relaxing. Had a super weekend. My brother came in from Canyon on Friday late in the evening, and so we went out on the boat. Did some fishing with my friend Bryce and my brother Julian, and we had a great time. We caught some little sand trout, some speckled trout. Of course, we just catch and release. We let them go. My brother caught a blue crab, and my buddy Bryce didn't catch anything. So, hi, Linda. Nice to see you. You still on the road, Deborah? Debs? Let's see. I need to widen my screen a little bit. There we go. Staying one more day on the road. Okay. Well, I hope you guys have had a great trip, Debs, and I know it's been exciting, but it's hard to get back to normal. You know, whatever that is. So Baby Gonzo's doing great, and hi, Catherine. I don't have any pictures yet, but I have pictures, but I don't have any pictures yet. We were given Gon's chance to post some, so she's posted some. So I'm hoping she'll do a video with us where we get to see Baby Gonzo. A mega cyst. Hello, Anonymous. Well, hey, good looking to you too. Thanks. So a busy day back at work, and the DW was in helping me today, so we had a interesting day. Did a couple of little videos today. We had one really interesting rash, and had a patient with an accelerated blood pressure issue that we did. So those will be posted soon. I want to get back in the habit. You guys tell me. I kind of stopped doing the the more educational videos, the more videos that I think are important. Like hey Darla, like common medical problems that just don't get the kind of attention that they need to be getting. So I want to be sure that we use the main channel for more than just cysts. And I know that's what most people want to see, but I want to use the opportunity to try to get more out there. Yeah, well, you got to get back home to get a new normal. Gumby is doing well. She's back home now in Conroe. Her apartment has 3 flights of stairs. So she stayed with her mom for a while before going back out there. So I chatted with her the other day. She says she's doing well. She's bored out of her mind, ready to get back to work. And I know the DW would love to have her back too, so she can get back to her routine. But the darling daughter, Abigail, is doing fine in school. And so we're getting close to all kinds of breaks. There, of course, the school is closed tomorrow for voting. It serves as a polling spot, so I never have to worry about early voting. I can always just stop by right around the corner, and I can vote, get my civic responsibility taken care of. I never have to worry about it because there's not much of a crowd. Although this year could be interesting. There's a lot of interest. I'm not. Hey, Seeker, I'm not over the. I didn't have the flu. I had a cold or a stomach bug or something, and I'm over it. I'm completely fine. I don't have any symptoms except for I sort of have this nasally thing and a little bit of laryngitis, but I'm not sick. I haven't had any fevers or chills here lately, and I've been back at work and busy with church and went boating on Saturday again. That's 2 weekends in a row. We actually had our real first inaugural fishing day, although Lee threw his line in a couple of times when we were doing the break-in on the little bay boat. And he actually caught a hardhead catfish, a saltwater catfish, and he tossed it back in. Hi, Carol. Yeah, you can hear it. I'm still a little congested, but I'm having a lot of patients coming in with the similar symptoms, and they've had it for more than a week. And I'm trying to be reassuring with them and let them know that it's just a little virus. And if they're not having fevers and chills, they don't have to worry about spreading it because they're not. And so, but I feel fine. Today's my fasting day, so I've gone through with that. Let's see. Read something that said employers legally have to pay up to 2 hours to an employee if they vote. I don't know if it's true or not, but I know most employers will allow you to go vote if you just tell them you're going to go vote. The DW, hi Seeker, the DW is doing fine. She's off running an errand. The darling daughter, Abby, talked her into going to do some shopping. So they went to go basically get some groceries and things like that. We try to get fresh stuff in. So we shop more often now than we used to because we like to get fresh produce and that kind of thing. So we all benefit from that. But nope, I'm not sick. It just sounds like it. So I sent in 2 videos to my editor today. One was an interesting video of a fellow who came in as a new patient with a really high blood pressure, and we started him on a medicine and had a short period follow-up, and he had a significant improvement but wasn't quite to goal. So we added a second medicine today, and we gave him an opportunity to talk about his experience. And so I think that one was interesting. We had a second patient. He's kind of a cut up, a nice guy. He's been a patient of mine for years, but he came in with a rash. And I know we had another rash. I haven't looked on the main channel. There should have been a guess the rash video. Did you guys see one of those? Somebody tell me if you saw that. I had hoped that my editors would do a, guess what this rash is. Had a lot of, yes. Okay. Thanks, Debbie. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to look at that. I really try not to, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I try not to look at my own channel very often. And there's a reason for that. The reason is I don't want to be influenced by what I see. I don't watch other videos. The red blotches. Okay, so the answer was tinea versicolor. That's what that patient had. I can't remember what the nickname of the patient was. Yeah, the little red blotches on the chest, like right in the in this area here and up in the middle there. It's a real common. Yeah, Deborah. Hey, Deb. You deserve a boat ride, Deb. No doubt about it. Next time you're going out. And I'm glad you guys didn't catch whatever Wink and I got. And I hope Wink hasn't had any further symptoms. But I don't know if I got more than one or, more than one virus or not. But that thing hit me hard. And it's not like me to not be able to finish a short stack of 9-grain pancakes. But Debs will tell you, we were at Denny's. And I sat down. I was ready to chow down, and wow, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Just all of a sudden, I'm talking to Wink, and I said, "Wink, when you started feeling sick, did you have these symptoms?" And I listed off, this feeling of something in the pit of your stomach and all that. And he's, yeah, that's exactly. And I was thinking, like, oh, I got to go home. I feel terrible, and I'm like trying to eat these pancakes. Right, I couldn't eat them, and I had to get out of there. Yeah, Darla. Oh, fishing is fun. I do it just for sport. I don't do it for the meat, although I did have a request that if we caught a big flounder. But one thing we have to keep in mind in the bay here, if you get a lot of fresh water, and we've had tons and tons and tons of rain, if you get lots of rain, it changes the salinity in the bay just enough where the fish don't bite. So all we caught were some trout, which were big enough to keep, but we put them back in the water. We like to see them go. Thanks, Catherine. I personally hope I don't keep this voice. It still cracks a little bit, Let's see. You're coming off, Linda, you're coming off of simvastatin. Good. Is that because you changed your diet? I'm interested to know. Saw both videos. Good. Did you see both of the Sue videos? As I think there was a second one that we got edited. Hopefully it got put up. I just chatted with, yeah, I'm blushing. I blush easily. So I talked with my editor today, and he's really interested in putting videos up on Instagram. And I said, fine, go for it. If you want to do it, that's fine with me. Yeah, so you changed your diet. Good. Did you cut out animal products, Linda? I hope that's what you've done. I hope you've cut out the animal products. I had another patient in today. He's dropped 15 pounds, and he cut animal products out, and that's how he did it, basically. And we talked about his diet quite a bit. And I should have made a video with him, but it would have been interesting. More for, not for the main channel, I think, but more for this channel. But you know, he feels like I wrote him a prescription for, in fact, I think it was Zocor or Simvastatin, and he didn't want to take the medicine. So we're going to see how his cholesterol turned out, and so yeah, steak, not all steak once. You know, the truth of the matter is, if you're going to eat an animal product once in a while, having a lean steak is probably not terrible. I'm not against, totally, I'm not telling people they have to go totally animal product free, but what I want people to be aware of is the vast majority of their foods are containing tons and tons of animal products, and they don't realize it. And everything from eggs to butter to cheese to that kind of stuff, and it's just turning out to where you almost can't go into a restaurant these days and eat without getting a lot of animal products, and way too much of it is certainly not good for us. Great idea I have about the Meta 7. Look for it. Yes. And so I need to get back in touch with Sue. We had talked about that, and she wants to be a distributor in UK, and we're going to see if we can make that happen. In fact, I need to message her. Thanks for reminding. I'll make a note because sometimes I get busy and things start happening. And let's see. I'm going to write a little note here. Sue about Meta 7. And also, we have a new product that we've been working on. We've had our Cocoa Skin Plus for some time on the meta-7.com, and we're real excited because we have changed the recipe. We've actually strengthened that formula because we had a lot of people telling us they were taking 2 a day, 2 of those Cocoa Skin Plus, and they were getting significant. Oh, thank you, Sherry. That was sweet of you. Significant results by taking 2 a day, and that's what I take. And I've got terrible nails, and I'm not going to show you my nails because I did some work on a little sluice box trying to get some of the silt, some of the dirt out of my koi pond over the weekend too. And it turns out I got that great stuff, which is like a seam or crack filler insulator product. I got it all over my nails, and I've been scratching and scratching. It's hard to get that stuff off, man. It's really tough. Anyway, but if I don't take that hair, skin, and nails product, the Cocoa Skin, they really split. Well, thank you, Debs. But anyway, so you might start seeing some of my stuff. I think it's going to be under J. Gilmore Vids. Let me see if, I'm going to ask my guy right now while you guys are with me. I'm not going to see you, and I'm going to say, ask him. See if he replies to that. And that way, if you want to check out Instagram, I don't know if he wants to do the same videos there, if he wants to use just do a different category of videos. Let's see, Secret. They use a lot of meat glues. You're not getting what you pay for. Yeah, you're probably right. I get into this debate a lot of times with people about, well, it's just processed meat. It's not the natural meat. Well, unfortunately, the data doesn't support that. I'm not convinced it's just the processing. I think the processing doesn't help. I'll completely agree that processed meat is probably not nearly, especially if it's got a lot of nitrates in it, it's not nearly as healthy as, say, a whole grain fed or a grass-fed meat, for example. But it's yeah. Okay, so I just got the message back. So this is the name of the new Instagram account. If you guys want to check it out, it's going to look something like this. J. Gilmore Vids. So if you want to, just follow along on Instagram too. I don't know. Debs, if you're in touch with Sue, just let her know that I said hi and that I will be back in. If she wants to email me, she can do that, or I'll email her. In fact, why don't I just email her now while we're talking about it? I got no reason not to. I'll do it now since I've got her. And hey, Sue, just wanted to touch base. Hope all is well with you and Wink. Let's talk more about you carrying some of our supplements for UK folks. I think you should list them there on UK Amazon. Let me know if you are still interested or not. Best Jade. Oh, what did I do? I hit a button wrong. Supplements. Okay, best. And I try to hit that tilde. That's my, yeah. Okay, so that's gone out to Sue. And let's see what I miss. So you got that. Missing Linda, why are you missing my videos? We're doing videos. Who dat? Welcome. I posted. Yeah, okay. So he posted. I just got a message from my guy out there. Says he's posted something. Already working on it. So he does a really good job. And I got to tell you, I don't have time for doing all the posting myself and the editing, and I can't do the editing like I used to love to do. And I really enjoyed spending lots of time. Sometimes I would spend hours working on a video and putting little special effects and things like that. I really enjoyed the creative process. But what I learned is that with the number of neck surgeries that I've had, the more time I spend working in detail on a computer. Now this right here, this doesn't bother me. This is just fine. But if I spend a lot of time really focused on editing or doing a lot of reading or detail work on the computer, then what I end up doing is causing myself a lot of pain. And then I get grumpy. And then the DW, she gets grumpy back at me, and rightfully so. Seeker, it's 12:30 and bedtime for me. All right. Well, good night. Okay, Linda, make sure I've got, there are two main accounts. We've got the John Gilmore MD account, and then there's a John Gilmore fan page, and which is usually just reruns and stuff like that, mix-ups and mashups and fun stuff too. But I'm hoping to put more on the main account. And but you guys let me know what you want, and I'll try to accommodate that. I like to hear back from you guys, but when I get into the main account, literally there are thousands of comments, and I just can't answer them all. I prefer a little bit more intimate kind of environment like this, where I know you guys are the super fans. You're the ones that are really making things happen, and I like hearing back from you a lot. I like it a lot. And you guys, most of you have my email address. And if you don't, you can have it. I don't hide it. That's the email address that I will answer right there. If you email me, make sure you tell me, what name you usually use on your screen name and stuff like that, so that, I can kind of put faces, or I can put names together. And, but if you have a question or a suggestion or something you want me to do, oh, Sherry, you're making a request for tonsil stones, huh? I need to look for more tonsil stones. So we like to do the cyst, but you got to remember, I'm a family medicine doctor. So the vast majority of patients that I get are not skin patients or skin problem patients, but I do get them from time to time. And, I try to video them whenever possible for you guys, because I know you love them, and I'll keep doing that. Just messing with you, Sherry. It's my wicked sense of humor. You have to forgive me. But yeah, all's going well. I'm feeling good. I was just remarking today how good my neck has felt here recently. I really feel blessed. And I got a lot of prayers from you guys when I went through all of that again for the second time in 3 years. And I'm truly grateful to God and to all of you. And oh, no. Oh, that's awful. Okay, I'm going to show it. That's terrible. Terrible. Anonymous, that's terrible. Yeah, we just want to help people. So Can I take those when I take inhalers? Can you take, Sabrina, tell me what you're talking about. Can you take Meta 7? Can you take our multivitamin? Okay, so here's the idea for a new product that I've got. So we've got the new and improved Cocoa Skin Plus, which is really designed to go on Amazon, okay? And so we really feel like we've been showing the Meta 7 for a long time. We've got a lot of great Meta 7 customers that are just repeat customers multiple times. And so I have a new product that I want to do. I want to call it a bone builder product, and it's got our new gel cap, which is a liquid calcium product. You know, a lot of people who take calcium, and a lot of women especially, but older men too, who have osteoporosis, are instructed by their doctors to take calcium and vitamin D both, and those are very important because, you know, calcium is the building block for that our body uses, calcium and magnesium both, that our body uses to build the bone strength and to build the mineralization of the bones. But you have to have the vitamin D in order for the body to take those building blocks and actually incorporate it into the bone. All right. Now, if you're on a bisphosphonate or other medicine that helps to build bone, you still have to remember that you have to take your calcium and the vitamin D. Those are all still very, very important. Okay, Sabrina, yes. So if you're using inhalers, you can still take Meta 7. Absolutely, no problem at all. You won't feel jittery and shaky from the Meta 7, but if you're using albuterol as your inhaler, you are going to feel that same jittery kind of feeling that you get from your albuterol. So expect that. That won't change, but it's absolutely safe for you to take Meta 7 if you're on inhalers for asthma, COPD, or a combination of COPD or asthma. So those are fine. Okay, so I'm thinking about a bone builder product. So I want to get your guys what you think. What I want to do is I want to combine, do a 6-month supply of the liquid calcium, and that's 2 a day. They're 2 large, they're like gel caps, okay? So they're spongy. They're not the hard calcium, so they're less likely to cause the constipation that you get with the calcium supplements that people generally buy, but they're a little bit more expensive, okay? So there's a little trade-off there. And then with it, add a 6-month supply of the 5,000 unit a day vitamin D into a 6-month product. And it's going to be somewhere right in the neighborhood of $70 or $75 for 6 months. Okay, so Janice, yes, you need to be checking with your doctor and get your vitamin D level, your vitamin E level, your B12, your B1 levels all checked, as well as your iron and your ferritin levels. So if you're not getting those checked because of your gastric bypass, you need to do that. Are you getting that checked? Let me know. Want to know. That's really important. Let me some feedback. If you guys think a bone builder would be of help for you at all, if you think that would be an interesting product, what we want to try to do is we want to try to have a little more variety. Okay, Janice, you are getting those things. Are your levels all turning out okay? Let me know. I'll wait for you. But we wanted the difference would be with the bone builder because of the fact that here's the problem. When you list something on Amazon, you have to keep in mind Amazon takes a big chunk of that money and they keep it. So if we do a smaller amount and send it on there, then we end up losing. We actually lose money on it. We have to actually make it around a $70 product to be able to do a little bit better than break even. So it makes it worth our time to bundle it, wrap it, and ship it. If we do smaller items, that's why we don't really earn anything on the 30-day Meta 7. And I know a lot of people like getting the 30-day Meta 7. There are some people that can't afford the 90-day bottle. And we understand that, and that's okay because we want to be sure that people have an opportunity to try Meta 7 at the reduced rate, because we get a lot of our regular 90-day customers that are taking the 30-day Meta 7 first to try it to make sure that they get the effect from it that we're looking for. Because for some people, you got to be on it for a while. Now, for me personally, I think it was a couple of weeks before I really noticed the difference. But now, if for some reason I miss it, I notice a huge difference. So for a lot of people, the effect is so gradual, they just don't notice it right away. And if we made like a 2-week sample, we'd miss some people, I think so. Because I've had some people say that they took it for 2 or 3 months and they just weren't convinced it was really helping them a whole lot. And then what happened was they ran out and they were like, oh, I got no energy. What's wrong with me? Can you meet me? Can I get a bottle, Let's see. Debbie says, Bones in bad condition after chemo and radiation, back pain, root nerve caught in disc, energy nave came back, 5-year survivor. Well, I'm glad you're a survivor. Back pain, and if you've got a nerve impingement, that's something, if you're seeing a pain management doctor, often they can do the epidural steroid injections. They can also do radio frequency ablation. Thanks, Debs. Okay, so I think what we're going to try to do is we're going to package next the Bone Builder. We're waiting delivery just any day on the new version of the Coco Skin Plus, which I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to be working to get that one listed, and hopefully both of them. So hopefully pretty soon on our main channel, we'll have more than just the Meta 7 option for just for Amazon, because a lot of people like shopping on Amazon. We know it's fast, but I also appreciate very, very much those of you that still order our supplements from meta7.com, meta-7.com, because that really does help us a lot. Sherry, you have a question about the adrenal gland. Are you talking about adrenal fatigue? There's a lot out there about adrenal fatigue and people that live in high stress. And there's a lot of supplements that are offered just for that. Some of them do seem to help people. I don't have a supplement that directly addresses the adrenal gland, but I have had people that have told me that they have high stress situations, high stress jobs, high stress family situations, those kind of things. And they feel like the Meta 7 does help them quite a bit. If you have adrenal fatigue, or you feel like you have adrenal fatigue, I would recommend the Gonzo Pack. So if you go to meta-7.com, the Gonzo Pack has our essentials. It has the Meta-7. It has the Meta 7, and it also has a vitamin D. And you take all three of those together. And I still take all of those. I used to take the Dr. Gilmore Pack, and you guys can hear this, but if you read the description on the Meta-7 website, you'll see that I've changed the description to what I used to take. And the reason is I no longer take the fish oil. And the reason I took the fish oil was because I was a meat eater and I had a lot of animal products in my diet, and I really wanted to boost my omega-3s and my omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. And that's important if you're eating animal products. And what we found is it's not so much the amount of omega-3 being higher as it is getting the ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 higher. So yeah, sure, you're taking 5K of vitamin D. That's good. That's probably the correct amount. I think, as an aside, I'm going to get back to that, but as an aside on the vitamin D, a lot of your doctors out there are looking at these vitamin D levels that are provided by the lab companies, and they're going to show 30,000, 3,000. Let's see. No, 30,000, 30 to 40,000 is considered normal. But there's a lot of research out there that shows now that the low end of the normal range in your body for vitamin D should be 40,000. And I will tell you, for optimum health, you should be looking at 50,000. Now, before I went vegan and I was taking the Meta 7 and 5,000 units of vitamin D, it was everything I could do to get over that 30,000 mark. Okay. And I want to be sure I'm correct, because sometimes that lab stuff gets a little twisted. Normal vitamin D level. I don't want to say things that are wrong. Okay, so we're talking about nanograms, and okay, it's 20. So I've had patients with vitamin D levels as low as 6. So over 30 to 40 is what I meant to say. So excuse me for that. 30 to 40 is considered normal, and it really shouldn't be. A lot of researchers are now saying that in the 40 to 50 should be normal, but for optimum health, you should be getting a vitamin D level over 50. And I will tell you, I've had a lot of patients I've worked with over the years that have had low vitamin D levels that suffered with chronic fatigue type symptoms, and they also suffered with anxiety, mood swings, mood instability, and mainly fatigue. But if we get their vitamin D level up over 50, and that's 50 nanograms, which is like 50,000 units, but 50, then what you're talking about then is a person who's going to feel a lot better. And when I went vegan, before I went vegan, I had a hard time getting my vitamin D level up over 30. Last time I checked it, it was 87. And and so I stopped taking the vitamin D. I do still take a vitamin D every now and then. I don't take it regularly. It's whenever the DW puts it out for me. But the truth is, because of my diet, I no longer need the extra vitamin D. So I'm going to be changing up what I take. I am taking the turmeric now. So I'm probably going to be working up a new Dr. G pack or Dr. Gilmore pack, what I actually take. Let's see, Debs, you can take Meta 7. The problem, I'm going to be honest with you, is I've had some patients with narcolepsy before who've taken Meta 7, and it has not made a difference in their narcolepsy, okay? I've had other patients with narcolepsy that have taken it and said they did feel an improvement in their symptoms. So what I do is I just say, look, the only way to know for sure if it's going to help you is to try it. I can't tell you that it will help. I can tell you that I've had people that have had narcolepsy who have told me that it has helped. Of course, I can't legally recommend it for any disease, but I can tell you if you have a vitamin D deficiency, you can take vitamin D. I can do that. But as far as Meta 7, all I can tell you is that for folks who don't have medical problems, I can tell you you should expect to feel an energy boost. I've had patients who have had all kinds of medical problems, especially diabetes, ADHD, ADD symptoms, these kinds of things, and chronic pain patients who've written me, and I've probably got hundreds and hundreds of written replies and comments, and I used to get more people would send me videos, but people don't like making videos on it. So anyway, but they get a significant improvement with the Meta 7. So, but anyway, so Debs, send me an email. Listen to me. If you're still there, send me an email, and I will send you a complimentary bottle of Meta 7 for both you and Lee, since you guys were so awesome at helping Sue. And it was we just sent Sue and Winks out because I was so wiped out when they left that I didn't get them their bottles. So their bottles are in transit now, and I'd be happy to send you guys some too, since you were so helpful and so awesome with Sue and Wink. And shame on me for not giving that to you right up front. I should have given it to you on the first day. Core, let's see. Is it helpful for autoimmune disorders? Calcium D3 useful because it looks like my partner is also seemingly getting rheumatoid arthritis. Okay. I'm going to tell you something about your diet and autoimmune problems, okay? Look, there's a lot of literature out there about what causes autoimmune diseases. Autoimmune issues are basically where your body gets confused, your immune system gets confused, and it begins to think that your body is what you're eating, all right? So when you're eating a lot of animal products, and again, I'm not trying to say this is your fault, and I'm just saying this is our diet. Hi, Gwen. Thanks for stopping in. God bless you too. But when you eat a lot of animal products, you put yourself at risk for your body's immune system to recognize some of that foreign protein as your own body protein, especially in the joints. We see it in the joints. We see it in the skin. We see it in other areas. And you can develop an autoimmune problem that is caused specifically by your diet. And I've had a lot of people that I've talked with about adopting a lower percentage of their diet coming from animal products and as much as zero for a period of time, and seen significant improvement in the rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, scleroderma, psoriatic arthritis, other and mixed connective tissue disease. So the first thing I would say is look at your diet and ask yourself, how much are you really eating in animal products? And I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about butter, milk, cheese, all your dairy, yogurt, your ice cream, and all these things that you're eating that you're being told is really healthy for you. And then secondarily, look at the meats, especially pork. Pork, I would take off the list immediately. Beef is not terrible, but again, you run that risk. Chicken, fish, all of those things. I would say cut down your animal products. Then I would say, now, if you're looking for energy and you're looking for maybe some improvement in your symptoms, I'm going to say you can try the Meta 7, and you may or you may not feel more energetic, and you may or may not notice less discomfort from the autoimmune problem. Because I've had a lot of people that have taken it have let me know that, yeah, it does help them with this autoimmune issue. So it's worth a try. Calcium and vitamin D. I'm not going to say that it's helpful for rheumatoid arthritis, but I am going to say that the Meta 7 you may find some relief. But I got to also throw in a disclaimer here. I don't want to get in trouble with the FDA. So Meta 7 is not indicated to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. That's the law. So I've said that. Said my piece. So I would look at diet first and look at supplements second. Specifically vitamin D3 and calcium, I can't say that that's necessarily a combination that would be helpful for the rheumatoid arthritis. It's more for bones. And also for mood, like we talked about. Calcium is important. I know a lot of people get, let's see, turkey bacon. Sherry, if you're going to eat meat, turkey bacon is better than pork. Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. I will say that. Okay, Debs, you got it. Email me. You got my email. So let me send me your address, and I'll make sure the DW drops out a package for you. But let me know. Let me know when you're home. I know you're going to have a bunch of mail stacked up probably already when you get back. So you just let me know, and I'll take care of that for you. Turkey bacon. Yeah. Look, I mean, you're talking to a guy. I don't eat animal products at all anymore. And I also fast on Mondays and Thursday because I have a heck of an appetite and I like to eat. So even though I only eat plant-based products now, I will tell you that I can eat and I can put the weight on because I love my starches. I'm a bread fanatic, and I love the whole grain. The healthier the bread, the better, and I tend to eat too much of it. So for me, not eating on Mondays and Thursdays helps me keep that appetite down, helps me kind of keep that under control, and it also keeps my weight right at 200. I've been a little bit lighter. The DW has asked me not to lose any more weight. I could push it and I could get back down to 190 or 185 even. But at this point, I'm going to stay right about 200. How about a cookbook? It's a great idea, Linda. Thank you. But the fact of the matter is the DW doesn't cook. And she makes no secret about it. Ask Debs. Debs, how many did the DW cook anytime you were here? I would tell you she did not. She doesn't cook. But I will tell you there's some great cookbooks out there. Let me think of the Forks Over Knives. Forks Over Knives cookbook is outstanding. There's a website that I like to go to once in a while. Some people that we know. Linda, can you hear me? No, I can't, but I'm sure you are. No, she doesn't cook. The darling daughter, Abby, will cook. Hang on a second. I'm looking for a website for you. Let's see. I'll think of it in a minute here. Darn it. But anyway, it's it'll come to me in a few minutes. When I'm not thinking about it, it'll come to me. But it's Mindy and her husband, and I can't think of his name, but they have a great website and they do tons of recipes. But there's also lots of great vegan cookbooks and vegan recipes and things that you can find online. Let me go to I'm on YouTube, silly me. Let's see, vegan Mindy. Let's see what I come up with. Rats. They're going to get me for this too, because they were just in town not too long ago. If one of you guys finds it, let me know. Well, apparently there's lots of Mindys out there. No, that's not it. All right. Well, I'll try to find it later. So, oh, you guys are going to be home tomorrow. Okay, that's right. All right. So probably a cookbook, so not probably, yeah, no, she doesn't cook. It's probably not going to be in our future. But I will promise you, if Abby makes a cookbook, we'll definitely get behind that 100% because she's learning how to cook and she's really becoming quite self-sufficient. Yeah, no, she doesn't cook and she admits it, and she doesn't want to cook. And it was funny. We were talking, I guess it was last month or so, and she was standing in the kitchen and she looked around her kitchen and goes, well, I surely have such a beautiful kitchen. She said, it's a shame I don't cook. I said, yeah, it really is. We have a joke. We used to call her the heat and serve queen because she would buy all kinds of pre-made stuff and, you know, frozen that just you put in the pan and just turn on the heat, and they'd be delicious and healthy. And I mean, it's not like we go hungry around here, I promise you. Yeah, I'll show that, no problem. But no, she's not. She doesn't want to be a cook. She likes to go out, and so we do that plenty. And but she does like to go. Let's see. I got a message here. Let's see if we got anything back from Sue. Not yet. I wonder if Wink and I'm sure they're asleep. I've been having trouble with my email, so that one I sent to Sue just now went out. Okay, Debs, I got your email. I mean, I got your physical address, so that'll go out. Hey, Amanda, what part of East Texas? Tell me. You know, when I was a little boy, I lived for a little while in a town called Jasper, Texas. And so I like to think of Jasper. We lived up in a place called Spring Hill, and down in the back there was a natural effervescent spring water. Darla, good night. Thanks for stopping in. I don't know why. I just felt the mood to talk to some folks, and everybody else was out shopping. And with this daylight savings time, I'm just Lake Palestine. Okay. So you're not as far east, right? That's a little bit north of Huntsville, right? Am I right? Maybe a little bit northwest of Huntsville. Celebrating your anniversary tonight before you get home. Well, congratulations, Debs. Chandler on the Lake. Okay. Yeah, how many years? I want to know too. That's awesome. That's awesome. See what else I got. Something here. A Meta 7 order from Sherry. Thank you. We'll get that right out to you. So that's been a little bit of an issue now that Gumby Jean's been out with her back surgery. 15 minutes. Okay, yeah. Okay, I thought it was further up north. I love Tyler Roses. That's right. 42 years. That's fantastic. I'm not even 42 years old. That might not be true. Congratulations. That's great. They've got a great little motorhome. You guys, they know how to travel. I'll tell you what. That was comfy looking. Ever heard about Rockdale? Yes, Janice. Rockdale. Let's see. There's a Rockport. Is Rockdale up there near Austin? I'm gonna look it up now. Rockdale, Texas. So I can get an idea of where we're talking about here. Bum, 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 bum. I should have hit a map instead. My internet's slow. Or it's the Rockdale. Must be the Rockdale website. Okay, here we go. Now I'm with you. Okay, so Rockdale's not that far from us. Few counties over. Thunderstorms and Tyler Roses. Awesome song by Brian Burns. Janice. Yeah. Okay, that's right. Sue will post an update tonight. So the message I just sent Sue was just went through. So if she's still up, if she jumps on, I would love to chat with her if she's still around. If she's still that woman, I don't know how she makes it for so many hours of the day. My goodness, it's like she doesn't sleep. It's amazing. She's got so much energy. Hey, Cheryl. Hi. Hi, Sherry Austin. We're just hanging out, talking. I'm going to do an update on my voice since we have some new people. I'm not sick. Okay, I had a little cold, and I'm over it. I'm not having fevers or chills, but I've got a little bit of laryngitis and kind of a congestion sound, but I'm not really sick. I've been working. I feel fantastic. So lots of energy doing stuff, on the move, so to speak. So all is well. Don't be concerned. I'm not losing my voice. Although there are people out there that wish I would, I'm sure. So What else you guys want to talk about? I'm going to send Sue another message, see if she's awake. I want to get her on. I want to chat with her. I want to chat. We'll send that out. See if we can get Sue. I would almost bet you she's still up. Just she likes to do something around 2 o'clock our time. I wonder, I don't know if they do in the UK. Do they do daylight savings time like we do here, or most states here do? So if she's going to post live, it's close to midnight. There's 6. Okay, so they were 6 hours ahead of us, but it may be 7 now since we just rolled back. Hey, Sherry, someone mentioned narcolepsy. Have a diagnosis of that, but you don't know if you agree that you have narcolepsy? Is that what you're saying? I love talking about narcolepsy. I think it's a fascinating disorder. I really do. True narcoleptics are actually kind of rare. You have the genetic marker? Yeah. Yes. Okay, so you don't believe you have it. Yeah, she's probably 7 hours ahead. We're 7 o'clock now. That would still put her around 2 o'clock in the morning, her time. But I know she likes to post late. So, okay, so yeah, so Debs, you most definitely have the real. There are a lot of people that have narcolepsy that have been diagnosed with narcolepsy that do not have it. True narcolepsy is really very interesting. It has different forms. I'm not a narcolepsy expert. I'm not a sleep expert, of course. Being a family medicine doctor, I'm only an expert in my patients, and I'm pleased for that. So my job is to be my patient's advocate, and that's what I do best. So the answer is, Sherry, it can be hereditary. But I've got a number of patients that have narcolepsy, and we treat it different ways for different people. Some people do very well with stimulants, such as mixed amphetamine salts, like we treat with ADHD or ADD patients. Amanda, let me finish. I'll come right back to you, I promise. Some patients, there are medications that actually work on the brain, the alert center, like modafinil is one, so Provigil and Nuvigil. So those seem to help. And I'm sure there are other medications that I'm not as familiar with that probably are less likely to be effective, but are occasionally used. But true narcolepsy is, people can actually be carrying on a conversation and just immediately just fall right to sleep, just almost immediately. It's really rather amazing. Real narcolepsy also sometimes can be just a fatigue syndrome. So, yeah, Debs, there you go. So, Debs, since you like to share, you're taking a stimulant, an extended release Ritalin 4 times a day, and that keeps you feeling awake and alert. Because I'll tell you, while you were here, you were definitely awake and alert. So it's working. How do you test for it? I believe that there are a number of different ways of testing. One of the things that's easy to do is go in for a sleep study where they actually attach some different electrodes, and they monitor your breathing, and they video you, and they measure your oxygenation. And okay, Sherry, let's see. When you were in the hospital, they had recorded episodes where they something asystoles. Okay, so that may be sleep apnea, Sherry. So that's different. Sleep apnea is a different kind of problem than narcolepsy. Now, if you have one, it doesn't exclude the other, and that's what's very interesting too. It's possible to have both. Now, sleep apnea is a condition where the upper airway obstructs breathing at night, where it becomes impossible to breathe. So the patient almost wakes up so that they can breathe again. Thanks, Teresa. So that's why they wear a mask, so it blows a jet of air to help keep the airway open. I'm going to go back. Somebody said they had a question about Meta 7. Amanda, okay, go. You're up. Shoot, I'm ready. Hit me. Meta 7 question. Debs, you have both. That's right, you do. So there's an example. You can have both narcolepsy and you can have sleep apnea. Crohn's disease and rheumatoid arthritis, as well as Hashimoto's. You are a rheumatologist's dream. Okay. Amanda, I'm going to tell you the same thing I mentioned before. I would carefully look at your diet. If you haven't been advised to cut out if you haven't been advised to cut out animal products, if I were you, I'm going to recommend that you go 90 days with no animal products. Get yourself a book called Proteinaholic. I'm going to type it in here for you. I think this can really help you. I want you to read this book. You can get it on Amazon. This is what I do with my patients, okay? I didn't write this book. It's a great book. It's written by a bariatric surgeon. You need to get the book. You can get it on Amazon, I think, for $9.98. You can have it in a couple of days. Read the book. Consider doing a 90-day no animal products diet and go pure. All right, and see if it doesn't abate or mitigate significantly your symptoms, because your body's immune system is overactive. I mean, your body's immune system is just chowing down on everything. It's hitting your colon. Crohn's disease is all over the place. It's hitting your joints and it's hitting your thyroid. So that tells me you've got a really, really active autoimmune immune system. And so there's a good chance that you have a problem with dairy products. Very, very good chance. Let's see. Hang on a second. Let me come down here. Yeah, Sherry, 130 episodes an hour is not unusual. Okay, so Amanda, so I would do that first. And secondarily, would Meta 7 help you? It would help you feel more energetic. There's a very good chance it would. It would help you feel more awake and alert naturally without feeling jittery. It will not cure those problems. It's never been designed to cure any disease, but it does help a lot of people feel more naturally energetic, including me. So if you want to feel more energetic, you want to have more energy, more focus during the day, you can try Meta 7 for that. But for your other problem, read that book, Proteinaholic. It's very well written. There's a lot of great science in it, but it's not written in a way that a person who's not a scientist can't understand it. I read it. I loved it. I thought it was a great a breakdown of the science. And I've read the China study. I've read the original research that's like the holy grail of epidemiology, okay? I got to back up. You guys are going fast here. Okay, Sherry. So if you have, let me see, Sherry, you were telling me that you've had this diagnosis of narcolepsy. I'm very suspicious, Sherry, that you don't have narcolepsy, but that what you have is poorly treated sleep apnea. I would go back. Sherry, how long has it been since you had a sleep study done? Let me know, okay? Cataplexy. Okay, so Debs, you've got that in the family big time. So you guys are, you have a genetic predisposition. Read that book, Amanda. Janice, how long have I been selling Meta 7? How did you start? That is a big, big story. Excuse me. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to save that. How do we come about the Meta 7? Can y'all excuse me for just a second? Sorry about that. I had the sniffles. I had to use a tissue. Okay, so I want to talk about the Meta 7 and how we came about it. It's an interesting story. But let's come back to that, okay? And how I started, why did we start, why, and how. It's a great story, I think. But it has to do with me wanting to help my patients, and I'll tell that story toward the end here, okay? All right. Oh, I'm way out. Okay, Sherry, on your CPAP machine, they make a machine now that is auto-titrating. That means it automatically adjusts the settings to whatever your body needs for it to be functional. If your CPAP is several years old, or if it's not working right, and if you already have a diagnosis of sleep apnea, and you should be able to go to your medical supply place with an order from your doctor for an auto-titrating CPAP machine. Let me type that in for you. Auto-titrating CPAP device. That should be covered by your insurance. And the good thing about it is that once you've got it and it's working properly, you don't have to keep going back and getting evaluated for your sleep apnea so you can get adjusted. Okay. 7 months since your last. Well, that was pretty recent. You should have a good working CPAP device. Yeah, Debs, you're right. So the nice thing about the automatic ones is you don't have to have it adjusted. You just put the mask on. You have to have a tightly fitted mask, but and they also make them just for the nose too. But whatever's comfortable for you, you want to get a tightly fitting mask. And if it's auto titrating, then you don't have to worry. The pressure is going to be correct. Okay. Yeah, Sherry, you had a heart attack. That is one of the biggest risk factors of untreated sleep apnea is that it puts stress and pressure on the heart, because when you block your airway, your heart begins to fight against the pressure in the lungs, and it leads to heart attacks. Okay. Amanda, I hope you do well. Let me know. I put my email in this message list. If you want to email me and ask any other questions, you feel free. I know a lot of doctors don't want to do that because they feel like there's a medical risk. I feel like if I keep my information general enough, I'm not telling you anything that's that specific, okay? But I can tell you, in any person who has sleep apnea that's not satisfied with their device, most likely the device just isn't working properly, or it's not set properly for whatever reason. And for them, I recommend an auto-titrating CPAP device, and I've helped a lot of my patients into one of those, and they are doing much better with it. Okay, you're on a BiPAP. Your pressure is high. It makes the mask leak. Sherry, I don't know how much. Hang on a second. Okay. I don't want to miss something here. Okay, got that. You got that. Yeah, you're struck. Okay, so ask about the. I would definitely ask about an auto titrator. I would definitely do that. There are some other procedures. Sherry, you might also, if your sleep apnea is as severe as it sounds it is, have you been to see an ear, nose, and throat surgeon about the uvulectomy and partial palatectomy that they can do to help with the condition? I mean, there's actually a surgical procedure that really helps in a lot of cases with obstructive sleep apnea. Yes, that's right. Debs is right. And there are different kinds of masks, and some masks fit better. Now, BiPAP is a little bit different than CPAP, but still the idea is still the same. Basically, you're introducing pressure into the airway to help prevent the airway from collapsing. And what it is the soft palate sort of flips up, and it blocks air from moving out through the nose while you're sleeping. So you get this, you start with the snoring, and then you just sort of, you have the pressure of trying to exhale, but the flap on the palate's pushing up, and you can't get the air out. And so you sort of gasp for a while, and then you almost wake up. You don't completely wake up, but you partially wake up, and you breathe through your mouth, and then you fall back to sleep, and you do it again over and over again. Sometimes hundreds and hundreds of times a night. Of course, you don't get restorative sleep, and you're tired all day because of it. And the dangerous thing is not only can it cause heart problems and things like that, high blood pressure and other issues, but you can fall asleep at the wheel. You fall asleep at a stoplight. Yeah, that's a good idea, Sherry. I think I would definitely look into your device. Let's see if I got a message back. No. I think Sue's either busy doing something, or she's not replying yet, or she could be doing anything if she's busy. So I just thought it'd be fun to talk to her. I haven't talked to her in a few days. So okay, so Meta 7, I'll talk about. If you guys want to talk more about Meta 7, I will. How we came about it was I noticed a few years ago that I had a number of patients that just seemed to be tired all the time. Hi, Amanda. Amanda, I don't do it regularly. I try to come. I'll tell you what I try to do is on my fasting days, just as a way of encouraging folks that are also trying to do the intermittent fasting and whole food plant-based diet. I try to come on Mondays and Thursdays, and just chat about those things, or anything else, for that matter. Oh, wow. Wow. I didn't know her friend had passed. I didn't get that news. I'm so sorry. Apparently she was a lovely lady. So does it work for, okay. So Barbara, hi, let me tell you about Meta 7 and diabetes. Meta 7 has the 7 most important ingredients for energy and glucose metabolism at the cellular level. Also, if you have diabetes, so you already have a problem with insulin resistance. And I presume you're talking about long-term type 2 diabetes. Is that right, Barbara? Because it's important. I'm going to presume it is because 95% of diabetics are type 2 diabetes. Now, so the problem is that your body doesn't do a good job of recognizing the signal of insulin, and so as a result, you basically starve to death. Yes. Okay. So you starve to death in the presence of lots of glucose. The cells aren't able to take it up. And that's why a lot of diabetics further on in the disease, they begin to lose weight massively because they're just peeing out lots and lots of sugar. They can't hold on to the energy. So they begin to slim down. So type 2 diabetics over time, many, many years, they develop a lot of the traits of type 1. And type 1 diabetics over many, many years of eating animal products, they develop traits of type 2. So we have this grand collision where the type 1s and the type 2s start being on the same medicines. It's crazy. But after a while, the type 2 diabetics need the insulin, and the type 1 diabetics who start out on insulin, they end up being on the desensitizing medications of the type 2 diabetics, and that's what I call type 1.5. So they come together, boom. So it's really fascinating to see this happen. It's terrible. Diabetes is a terrible disease. You talk to a lot of doctors, would they rather have diabetes or HIV? A lot of them will tell you they'd rather have HIV because HIV is far more treatable now and not as progressible. Anyway, so to answer your question, when I have a patient who has type 2 diabetes, the first thing I tell them that they need to change is their diet, of course, and their lifestyle. They need to exercise, and they need to change the way they eat and how much they eat. They need to work on weight loss. And these are type 2 diabetics. Then the next thing they need to be on is, after all that, they need tight glucose control, is a baby aspirin. And this is everybody that has type 2 diabetes. This is not age dependent, and that's very important. If you have type 2 diabetes, you should be taking a baby aspirin. You're at a higher risk of stroke, heart attack, blood clots, all of that, okay? You should be on a baby aspirin. The next thing that you absolutely must be on is a multiple vitamin, an A to Z multivitamin. You must be on that. Number 3, you must be on a calcium supplement. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You must be on a calcium supplement. Those are the next 3 things. Then after that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, everything in Meta 7, okay? Those are the next 7 things. There you go, 7 things. Those are the next 7 things that you should be on. If you're allergic to aspirin, you don't have a choice. You can't take it. If you're allergic to aspirin and you have type 2 diabetes, talk to your doctor about Plavix. Okay, talk to your doctor about being on Plavix instead. All right, because you need to be on some kind of antiplatelet, and we recommend baby aspirin. But if you're allergic to it, then you should be on that. Okay, so if you have neuropathy, to get all the way around to your question, Barbara, about Meta 7 and neuropathy. If you have neuropathy and you have the pain associated with neuropathy, you have a good chance of stopping the progression of the disease with good control of the diabetes, the first 3 things I told you about, and Meta 7, okay? It will slow that all down. The problem with neuropathy is once you have nerve damage, it's almost impossible to reverse it. However, I have had a lot of patients with neuropathy secondary to diabetes and idiopathic, or we don't know what causes it, neuropathy, or neuropathy due to other conditions, heavy metal exposure, et cetera, that have told me that they take Meta 7 and they've had an improvement in their neuropathy, okay? It's not 100%. It's not going to reverse your neuropathy, but it will help, okay? But the biggest thing I can tell you that it will do is the ingredients in Meta 7 have been proven to slow down the progress of neuropathy, okay? Again, it works at the cellular level to improve how your body handles glucose and energy right at the cellular level. So it's important to consider if you don't take Meta 7. I've had people in my office say, look, I don't want to spend the $75. I said, that's fine. Here, get your camera out. I've held up the bottle and I've had them take a picture of the ingredients on the Meta 7. I said, go out and buy these separately and take them. Okay. And the ones that actually follow through with that will come back later and will buy it from me because it's cheaper to get it than it is to buy the ingredients separately, because it's hard to find the methylcobalamin and some of the other. A full aspirin is fine. If you may have other reasons for the full aspirin. If you've had other medical problems, sometimes we'll bump patients up to a full aspirin, especially if you have had any kind of coronary history or risk of extra risk of coronary disease due to hypertriglyceridemia, other dyslipidemias, cholesterol problems, etc. Let me see. Did I miss anything? Yeah, Sherry, if your husband is your husband a type 1? Obviously, he's a type 1. We don't usually see DKA in type 2, although, again, because of the fact that more of our type 2 diabetics become type 1 over many, many years, we're talking after 25 to 30 years of having diabetes, we are starting to see type 2 having DKAs, and those would really be the type 1.5s. Your doctor never mentioned that to you, Anonymous? Never mentioned that you should be on a baby aspirin a day? Okay, first of all, I tell all of my patients that are over 40 they should be on a baby aspirin a day. All diabetics should be on a baby aspirin a day. I believe those things. I think all patients should be on a multivitamin every day. Sherry, baby aspirin, multivitamin, all things in Meta-7. You left out the calcium, a calcium supplement. Just a big one, doesn't matter. They're 100 to 1,200 milligrams. And I will tell you that your body only absorbs 3 to 5% of those, so it really doesn't matter. No, sir, not one time. Well, I think if you do a little research on your own, Anonymous, and you read about diabetes, then you will find that a baby aspirin a day is high on the list of almost every organization's recommendations. Officially diagnosed as type 2, but he's on a huge amount of insulin. So, Sherry, your husband is a type 1.5. He's a 1.5. So if he's truthfully, one of the definitions of type 2 is that they don't get DKA. But we've been so long now with this epidemic of diabetes, we're learning things about what happens over many, many years with diabetes. It used to be years ago, patients didn't live this long with type 2 diabetes, but we have much better medications now. Baby aspirin, multivitamin, calcium, Meta-7 ingredients. Sherry, you got it. You knocked it out. Home run. But we're learning so much more, and we're having some new drugs that are going to come out next year. One of the best drugs out there today is a GLP-1 inhibitor, and it's called Victoza. Trulicity is another brand, and there's a brand new brand. And what's it called? Oh, that reminds me. The other website I was going to tell you, now I remember it. Here it is. I'm going to put it on here now. BruceandMindy.com. They would kill me if I forgot that. BruceandMindy.com, they do a nonprofit 1 day to wellness program. They teach people how to eat vegan and eat it tasty, and they have cookbooks and stuff. So now I remember Bruce and Mindy. The brand new medicine for GLP-1 inhibitor, besides, let's see, the Trulicity and Victoza, which Victoza is kind of the standard. Let me see if I can find it for you. Trulicity. It's similar to the dulaglutide. Let's see, GLP-1 agonist. Let's see what brands come up. Victoza. Saxenda is another one, but it's really for weight loss. Anyway, there's a new one out. Can't remember the name. Wait, here's a third one. Let's see if this one is it. It's got an interesting name. Takes me a while to learn new drugs, guys. You get older, that's the way it is. Yeah, Bruce and Mindy are awesome folks. They really are. They really practice what they preach. They do the fasting. They travel the country in an RV. And for them, it's a real ministry. It's a real work of love. Ozempic. Thank you, Amanda. Yes, Ozempic. I kept Olympic. It's literally, I gave out my first box of samples of the Ozempic today. That's how new this medicine is. And I think it came out, it's been out a little bit while, but let's see, Sherry, going back to the calcium, my husband has something that caused by the neuropathy at his foot that has caused his bones to fracture. Could be Charcot joints. But it's basically because of the neuropathy, he's not able to feel his foot, so he's fracturing the bones. You just saw the commercial. Yeah, I think if you talk about something and the YouTube algorithm brings it up, it'll pop up an ad for it. It's really kind of fun. Sharko foot. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. And so Judge has the word. Hello. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Or woman, man or woman, person. Judge has the word. Thank you so much. Let's see. Yeah, Sharko foot. That's right. So it's a problem having to do with the neuropathy and the diabetes. So you get this condition where diabetes we've thought of for years and years as a microvascular disease. It's a disease where the diabetes itself, you can be a man. Hey, we're okay with that. We'll let you be whatever you want to be. It's a weird world out there in some people's minds and other people's minds. It's becoming more normal. So you interpret it how you please. We'll let you be whatever you want to be here. But microvascular disease, what it does is it leads to a starvation of the nerve endings, an oxygen deprivation situation, and also a metabolic byproduct buildup to where the nerves simply just die. And when they do, and the vascular system becomes compromised, then you have slow healing and you have decreased sensation. So you can put pressure on the foot and you don't feel it. And as a result, it leads to ulcerations. It leads to fractures and other kinds of issues. So it ultimately leads to amputations is what happens, unfortunately. You're the one that had the chimpanzee. All right. I remember now. There's not many people that have chimpanzees. I remember that. You're an entertaining bunch, I'll tell you that. I was at Thai Spice for dinner. My left knee tried to buckle backwards and it stung on the right of it. On the inside of my leg is sore today. Let's see. Tried to buckle backwards, stung on the right of it on the inside. So you probably strained either your medial collateral ligament or your anterior cruciate. You probably strained one of those. Alzheimer's, they're saying that it's also diabetes. That's interesting. Elaborate on that for me. Alzheimer's is a genetic disease that leads to plaques entangling in the brain of buildup of certain kinds of proteins. I think if you have they won't because of the risk of amputation. Yeah. Yeah, Sherry, that's the problem. Hey, David, thanks for stopping in and saying howdy. I love it. Hard to explain, folks, how the loss of feeling. In some people with diabetic neuropathy and other neuropathies, they do get pain and they lose sensation at the same time. It is very difficult for diabetics to describe the sensation, but they have pain, but they can't feel. It's almost like a ghost-like pain, like people get when they experience when they lose a limb. They still have pain in body parts that are missing. But in many ways, it's very similar to neuropathy. So they can have pain, but have a loss of sensation as well. So it doesn't hurt when they push on it per se, but they'll have this kind of continuous pain. Some describe it as a real hard, stinging pins and needles kind of sensation. Others describe it different ways, a burning sensation. Everybody describes it a little bit differently. Both legs and the knees phantom. So our man Judge here has a phantom leg. Did you lose above the knees or below the knees, Judge? No, that's interesting, Linda. The new diabetes type 3 above the knees. Was it an injury, Judge, or tell us more if you want to? No, I've not heard of this as the new type diabetes. It is interesting though. If they're saying it's related to insulin resistance or to insulin toxicity, I'd be very fascinated to read about it. I've not seen anything about this. I don't have a Twitter account that I use, Janice. Hey guys, Linda, let me tell you what. When you cover as many areas of medicine as I have to carry, it's a struggle. It's a challenge every day to stay on top of the newest stuff. And although I do medical training things and updates on everything, but there is basically no area of medicine that my specialty area doesn't touch. So the most recent breakthrough in what may be causing Alzheimer's, I may not have information on, but I'm always interested in learning. Thanks for signing up for the Instagram. I mean, we just really started that tonight. Yeah, I try, Linda. I really do. I don't claim to be an expert in any area of medicine. I know people out there that are experts in, in a very small area of the body, and it's really fascinating the amount of knowledge they can accumulate about some small area. The new Instagram, it should look something like this. Should look something like that. Alzheimer's and dementia. Say coconut oil pills were good to take. However, recently came out stating it was bad for you. I take it because my mom died last year with that, and many others. I'm sorry about your loss, Sherry. Dementia, Alzheimer's disease is going to be something we're going to cure in the future, and I'm going to make a prediction that Alzheimer's, since Alzheimer's is so tightly genetically related, true Alzheimer's is not. A lot of dementia is labeled Alzheimer's, but it's not really Alzheimer's. It's really just what we used to call senile dementia or vascular dementia. And I believe, and one of the reasons I tell my patients under 40 and older to start taking a baby aspirin a day is I believe that the aging process and the fact that our diet has contributes so strongly to our overall health in this country and many other developed countries is that I believe it helps prevent micro strokes. And we do MRIs of folks in their 70s and 80s, and we find out that their white matter is significantly shrunk, and the communications, the links between the neurons are just almost non-existent. And I believe a lot of that is vascular. So you could say that diabetes would contribute to that, and I would say you're probably right, but I wouldn't call that Alzheimer's per se. I would just call that vascular or senile dementia. So true Alzheimer's. Now, I had a patient that had true Alzheimer's. Oh, man, that's awful. But he started with headaches. It was really very strange presentation. He was my age. He was an accountant, and he started having severe headaches. And I tried him on some different medicine for his headaches. We did CAT scans. Everything was negative. I admitted him to the hospital. I had 2 different neurologists see him. We kept him in the hospital for 2 weeks, and they could not find a reason for his headaches. And so they ended up putting him on some headache medicine. So we referred him downtown to the medical center, and they did some genetic testing on him, and some neurologists did a great job, and they figured out he had Alzheimer's. Within 2 years, he was in an assisted living facility. He didn't even know his name anymore. And that's how quickly real Alzheimer's can destroy a life. Yeah, Sherry. I love it when people bring in interesting research, as long as it's something interesting. Let me see. I'm gonna scroll back up for a second. I think I missed something here. I tell you, I'm kind of on the fence about coconut oil, but I love avocados. I think those are healthy. I don't have any problem with CBD oil. I have a lot of patients that use it. They use it in their vapes, and they use it topically. It's legal everywhere. I tried it for my neck pain, and I did not find that it helped me a bit, but other people have said it helps. So, Judge, you were a truck driver, and you got caught between a truck and a wrecker by a semi. Man, I'm glad you kept on with your life, my friend. 1993 is a long time ago, wasn't it? This goes to show life is what we make it, you know. We all have what we live with. I was bullied as a junior high kid, and an older, short, stocky, kid tried to kill me. Basically, I thought it was funny. I was tall and lanky. Terrell Dennis, how you doing, my friend? Nice to see you. Okay, so we got the Instagram up on here. I hope it goes well. Coconut oil, I still take it, and now will the baby aspirin. A coconut oil, I've seen research, I've seen good and bad on coconut oil. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't like to really take a stand on something until I truly believe in it. And I know that there's been a lot of negative about coconut oil too, so I'm still not sold on it. Okay, so if you have a doctor saying take coconut oil, then you should follow their advice if you feel like that's what you should do. Dyshydrotic eczema, doctor has you on Eucris. Eucris, I think, is a newer agent. It's what I'm thinking of. No. Let me hang on a second. That's a newer agent. Okay, yeah, it's a non-steroidal phosphodiesterase 4 inhibitor. Okay, it's not a biological agent. So there's so many of these new drugs that are coming out that are biologicals. I have to always look them up now to make sure. Dyshydrotic eczema, is this caused by our immune system? I do not think it's 100%. It can be partially caused by an allergy. So different forms of eczema some are caused by extreme dryness, and some are caused by allergy and skin dryness. So if your doctor has diagnosed you and really feels like this Eucrisis works, it's probably not an immune issue, okay? Not at least primarily. A lot of lipomas. Do you know of any doctors in Michigan we can live in? Oh, sorry, I don't know any docs in that area. All of my training has been in Texas. So unfortunately, Patricia, I don't. But I can tell you it depends on the size of the lipoma. If they're acorn-sized or smaller and they're easily accessible, your primary care doctor should be able to remove those for you. If they're much larger in a difficult area, like in the axilla or in the groin, you might want to see a general surgeon. You can, if they're on the neck, you could see ear, nose, and throat. If they're in other areas, you could consider dermatology. Some dermatologists will take them out, some won't. It just all depends. Angel eyes high. Doesn't help with my S1, L5, L4 impinged sciatic nerve now with nerve damage. What doesn't? I'm not sure. I may have missed something there. Let's see. Sherry. Oh, I love answering questions. Are you kidding me? I only get frustrated when I don't get enough questions. It's the cream and it doesn't work. Well, Amanda, the thing about these topicals is sometimes you have to use them for a long period of time to really get an effect. If it doesn't work, let your doc know to try something different. We have other medicines. Sue's a true inspiration. Yes, very much so. Terrell, do you go by Terrell or Terrell? 1 if it's Terrell, 2 if it's Terrell. I'm guessing it's Terrell, but I don't know. I'm glad you're watching, man. Allergy to PPD in hair dye. That's interesting. Cystic acne. I like to fight cystic acne from the inside out. I like to use the antibiotics. I know you're saying you don't want to use them. I've had patients on doxycycline for years, and for really deep cystic acne, I've never seen anything do what doxycycline twice a day will do. I don't believe that the long-term antibiotic use causes any kind of immune system problem, and I've not seen doxycycline lead to any kind of resistant bacteria product. I've seen some cystic acne patients respond well to corticosteroid injections directly into to the cysts. I've also seen aestheticians, like if you go, I don't know if Dr. Josefa Reina is still around. Is she still making videos? But I've seen some of her work, and I've seen other aestheticians that do amazing work just by doing the squeezing and the gentle removal of the comedones. Yeah, man, 8 months. If it's not working, I would ask for something different. CBD or smoking weed doesn't help with my pain or nerve pain. I've had a lot of patients tell me that it does and doesn't help. I have no problem with THC, CBD, either one of them. I don't think they're harmful for the most part. I prefer patients use, if they're going to use those products, to not smoke them because it can cause some emphysema kind of issues. So what I tell my patients, if you're going to use those, get the edibles. Number 2. So that was Terrell. Okay. Terrell Dennis. I got it. Refined coconut oil in our morning coffee to help kickstart our energy and to increase ketone levels in the blood. Okay. Doxy did work. Liz, cystic acne is no joke. If it worked, it's safe. I say use it. I did great on my Dr. Oz. I'm not sure what that was. Don't like gabapentin. I didn't like gabapentin or Lyrica for my neck pain. Didn't like either one of them. Didn't like the way they made me feel. Your doctor yanked you off of it. Was there a reason why, Liz? I'm curious. It's the only look, if you just look online for preparations for cystic acne, almost all of them contain either minocycline or doxycycline. I've seen a lot of people in gabapentin and gabapentin and pregabalin are both controlled medicines in Texas. I've not seen a lot of abuse. Most people don't like taking it. They don't like taking more than they have to. But I'm sure there's always somebody out there that'll figure out a way to abuse something. So, yeah, Liz, what I tell people with cystic acne to do is to take the Doxy. What I tell them is to take it twice a day until they feel like they've got things under control, and then drop it down to once a day and just stay there. But if they feel like it's flaring up again, to go back to the twice a day. The other thing I can tell you with cystic acne, cut pork out of your diet. I can't stress it enough. Cut pork out of your diet. You don't want to be eating pork products if you've got cystic acne. Definitely don't. Our bodies have a real hard time dealing with pork oils. Of course, you know me, I'm going to tell you to cut out animal products altogether, but, that's just my thing, man. Yeah, cut the pork first. See if you don't find that doesn't help. Yeah, gabapentin is not as good, in my opinion, as the pregabalin or the Lyrica, but it's covered by more insurance plans. Most companies don't want to cover the Lyrica because it's newer and it's not generic. Yep. Gabapentin will help with phantom pain. You're right, Mr. Judge. It does help. Let's see if I got an email back. No. I did not. I'm just going to sit here. I'm having a good time with you guys. Thanks for entertaining me. So cystic acne, if I have patients that have a lot of lesions, I'll go ahead and draw up a half a cc of triamcinolone acetate, 40 milligrams per kilogram, and I'll also drop about a half a cc of 1% plain lidocaine, and I'll just inject just a tiny bit into each little cyst, and I might do 15 or 20 of them to get the inflammation down fast to help reduce the size of those cysts. It seems to help, but the idea is to prevent the scarring, Liz. That's the problem. And that's why I really try to be aggressive, especially with young men too, but mostly young ladies. Young men don't seem to care as much if they get a scar. But who dat? There you go. You had the Pneumovax 2 years ago. Do you need to get the Prevnar 13? Yes, you do. We prefer now to do the Prevnar 13 first, and then a year later to do the pneumococcal vaccine, the conjugate 23. Yes. So the answer is yes. If you haven't had the Prevnar 13, you need to go back and get it. Most of the major pharmacies carry it. CVS, Walgreens carry it. Kroger, some of the larger HEBs and that kind of thing in our area do. California has lots of good doctors, Angel Eyes. You just have to find them. They're out there. Yes, I'm sipping on a Coke Zero. I allow myself one a day. I am fasting. There are 0 calories in here, so this does not break my fast. I like to have a fizzy drink in the evening. I'll have a Topo Chico. I'll have fizzy water or whatever. I just have the Cherry Zeros and the Coke Vanilla Zeros because on days that I don't fast in the evening, sometimes I'll mix a little bit of Jim Beam in there, and I like the way it tastes. Let's see. Okay, let's do it. Let's go to town. There you go. Coke Zero is your Papa choice. Okay, so let me warn you about Coke Zero, and I'll make a warning about Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, and all of those. These products contain aspartame, okay? Aspartame breaks down in the body into formic acid. Now, I've seen some people say that's not true, but I'm telling you, if I drink too many of these, I get back pain, okay? If I drink one or maybe two, it's no problem. But if I drink a bunch of them during the day, I will get a lot of pain, okay? So there's some truth in it. I'm going to tell you, there's truth in it for me and my genetic setup, and I'm a little bit weird, I know, because I can't take certain medicines because they affect me oddly. That story, if you've heard about aspartame leading to back pain and stuff like that, cut it down. First time I learned, I was getting upper back pain like all the time, real sore, achy kind of at the end of the day. I was like, oh, I feel terrible. I'm beaten down. This was when I was in my early 40s, man. I shouldn't have been feeling that way. And then I read something about aspartame, and I said, no way. And so I completely cut out. I was drinking Diet Pepsis at the time. I just completely cut them out. And like a day later, I was like, Superman. I felt fantastic. I mean, the change was remarkable. So now these only very limited. Mexican Coke's awesome because they put real sugar in them. Soda drinkers unite. I also don't try to drink more than one or so of these a day because they have a lot of sodium. Yes, Angel Eyes, it is true. If you have back pain and you've been dealing with pain syndromes and you drink a lot of aspartame products, I would ask you to try going off your aspartame. Oh, okay, Terrell. I see. I just got your message. Okay. That wasn't Dr. Oz. That was the doctor's show. I know what you're talking about. Yes, yes. I thought you said Dr. Oz, but that was the doctor's. Different show. Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed going out there and doing all that. Let's see. Never put together. When I switch from Diet Pepsi, aspartame to Coke Zero, my pain increases. Okay. So Diet Pepsi has, wait a minute, you got to be careful. Now, is there a Diet Pepsi? Now, so this has aspartame. This is what's interesting is they put the aspartame, but they also put the other sweetener, the other artificial sweetener, sucralose in here, which is actually okay. It's a natural sugar. So they mix, they don't put fully aspartame. So sucralose or Splenda is actually okay. I don't have any problem with it. And they make that, if you've seen this out there, it's like a Coke Life, or it's got a green label. It's a different. And I think it's almost all sucralose, and it's quite tasty. Yep. Terrell, I got your message. It wasn't Dr. Oz. That was the doctor's. It was a TV show. But is there a Dr. Oz video? Am I missing something? I'm going to click this thing. Okay, yeah, that was the doctor's. Okay, if it says aspartame free, Sherry, then it probably is. Yeah, aspartame too much aspartame gives me back pain. Let's see. Yeah, Terrell, I got your video. That was the doctor's. Is a TV show, a different show. Same effects of multiple sclerosis. Is that true? If you're talking about aspartame, there's a lot of information out there about aspartame that has not been scientifically proven, but there's a lot of pseudoscience out there that there may be some truth to. So I've not seen anything from the medical literature that ties aspartame with MS, but I can tell you that I've had some MS patients that have come back to me, and you know what they've told me? This is really fascinating. The last one that I diagnosed, actually, I suspicious she had MS, and I sent her over to a neurologist. And I said, I think this lady has MS. Run some tests on her. And he came back and she said, yeah, they said she had MS. I said, I want you to look at me. I said, there's something I want you to do. I said, I want you to stop eating animal products because I believe MS is an autoimmune disease that is completely caused by your consumption of animal products. And she looked at me and she said, that is the exact same thing the neurologist told me. So I said, good. So we're on the same page on this. And she said, I've cut out all animal products. I feel better. And I'm not having as many of these symptoms as she was having with her MS. So again, an autoimmune disease, our body gets confused with the animal proteins, and it confuses it with your own proteins in your own body, and it begins to attack. Let's go on down here. Diet Coke, limited to 3 to 4 now a day. Linda, if you're getting pain, you might cut that back a little bit more. If you're not, okay. My opinion of Abilify is part of a treatment for depression and bipolar. Jeff, I'm going to tell you right now, I think Abilify is probably the best thing to come along for bipolar disease since Seroquel. I think it's a fantastic medication. And I also have a number of patients that have been on antidepressants that have had problems over the years that I've added Abilify that have done very, very well with it. So I have a very good opinion of Abilify with the exception of its price. It's a very expensive medication, and a lot of insurance companies don't want to pay for it. Hey, Terrell, no problem, man. Still cool. It was fun. It was a fun trip. I enjoyed doing it. I did. I enjoyed doing the trip. All right. You guys better hit me with some new questions. I'm running out of my one and only. I'm going to have to switch to water. That'll be terrible. Okay, into the waste bin. Just started at Lotus, so 5 milligrams once a day, probably, Jeff. Geodon. I don't like Geodon for major depression unless it's being done by a psychiatrist. Geodon for major depression is not just for major depression. It's for depression with psychosis. Geodon is an antipsychotic medication, and it is for the most severe cases. I will tell you that patients that are being treated with that medication should not be treated in a primary care office. It should be done by under the care and supervision of a psychiatrist. All animal products. Angel Eyes, try all animal products. Yeah, 5 milligrams once a day is a good starting dose. I've had a lot of patients that I added the 5 milligram Abilify on, and that's all they needed. I have a couple of patients that we had to go up to the 10 milligrams, but I've never had a patient with just depression that needed something more, that needed the Abilify, that I had to take them up to the 30 milligram dose. I've never had to do that. So 5 milligram generally is plenty. It generally does everything. It generally gets people right back to normal. And remember, our goal with treating depression and anxiety, or a combination of anxiety, depression, diseases, is to get people back to normal. Angel Eyes, Gonzo just has had her baby. She's doing great. I'm hoping to get a video with baby Gonzo soon. She has posted on Instagram, so you can see pictures there. Gumby Jean is doing better after her back surgery. She's back home now. She has 3 flights of stairs that she has to go up, and she says she's doing well. Hey, Amanda, thank you. Wonderful. Have a great evening. Is Abilify an SSRI? No, it is not. Abilify is a bipolar disorder. It's in a category by itself. Let's see, Abilify. Let's get into aripiprazole. Let's see. It is an antipsychotic. It's used to treat schizophrenia, bipolar disorder. It is helpful in depression and in Tourette syndrome. It also helps with some patients with autism. I've seen it used for all of these things. Specifically, what is its category? Yeah, it is a second generation antipsychotic. So it typically just falls under antipsychotic. That's good news, Liz. That's fantastic. What are you doing to your staff? I had neck issue, Gumby back. I know. Nobody wants to come down my hallway. They're afraid they're going to have a spine problem. I'm voting tomorrow. I like to vote on voting day since my daughter's school always hosts the elections, and it's literally around the corner from me. I make it a habit of dropping in on the way home from work and voting. So I'll be voting tomorrow. The DW voted early. She likes to go vote early. I like to vote on election day. Yeah, I voted early before. I like to get in the line. Usually it's not a very big line. I'll admit that. If it was a really long line, or we had we're not a real busy polling center, so almost always it's not much of a line. I think on election day, I was able to get in and out in 10 minutes. It takes more time to work through. In Texas, we have these sort of electronic things that do. So Sue posted. Okay. All right, Sherry, we'll be voting tomorrow. Vote your favorite candidate. I don't want to talk about it. Hopefully we won't talk about politics. 2 rods in your back. I don't want to say on here. Sorry, everyone. After you talked about the soda, I drank 5 Mountain Dews and my back kills me at night. Man, I'll tell you what. But is it Diet Mountain Dew? If it's Diet Mountain Dew, it could be the aspartame, man. I'm telling you. It really can be. Well, the DW has just made it in. Yeah, you might want to think about making a change even for just a few days to see if it makes a difference in your back pain. Yes, no more political ads from any party. I'm tired of it. We're just doing it. You want to stick your head in the sun?
No, because I just took my makeup off.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're in. You're in.
Hi.
Sherry V said hi. You're getting some highs. Hellos. What'd you get me at the grocery store? Nothing, because I'm not eating today.
Bell peppers and vegan Italian sausage.
You got me some bell peppers for tomorrow. Of course, she's beautiful. I married up. There's no question about it. She's been such a big help at the clinic, too. I'm going to tilt this a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Judge has the word, says hello. So Sue posted. I wonder if she'll come over and play with us. Deb said hi.
Tell Deb hi.
There's a hi from the DW. She's emailing me her address so we can send them a couple of bottles of Meta 7.
Okay.
Yeah. So they'll probably go out Wednesday.
Yeah, not tomorrow.
Hey, make sure you give her this channel. See if she'll come over and talk with us. I want to see how she's doing. Did she post? Is she doing live or is she just post a video? I can't believe she's still awake. Yeah. Politics has gotten so ugly. My wish is for Americans, no matter what side you're on, no matter what you believe, to learn how to discuss your differences and be civil about it. I'm just so tired of the fighting. Angel Eyes says hi. Told her to come over. Okay, good. It's 2 a.m., right? I mean, look, I don't remember who said it, and it may have been Ted Kennedy. I don't remember, but there's one politician, and I want to be sure that I give somebody credit. But somebody said that we need to learn to disagree without being disagreeable, and I try to say that, man. We need to learn to disagree without being disagreeable. It just doesn't make any sense. We can't solve problems if we can't talk to each other, and nobody's completely to the left and nobody's completely to the right. And, I tilt more to the right and other people tilt more to the left, but I talk to people. I'm in favor of a universal healthcare system. I always have been. And they'll say, well, how can you be conservative and be in favor of that? Well, Medicare. Because I want to see people taken care of in a way that makes sense. I mean, if we're going to pay, I'm doing politics. I'm stopping. You guys, I don't want to go there. I'm sorry. All I want to say is let's learn to love each other and talk to each other, and let's do good for each other. Because what I have found by talking to Democrats and Republicans both is what I've discovered is we all really want the same things. We just really disagree about how to get there a lot of times. I had a management team years ago that our motto was, we agree to disagree agreeably. I love it. That's perfect. That's perfect for our time, man. It really is. It really is. Well, Sue did not answer. I don't know if she just posted and then went to bed. And if she did, I can't say I blame her. She's not live. Okay. That's okay. We'll catch her another time. And I hope she's doing well. I hope her wound is healing. We chatted. We did a FaceTime a few days ago, and she showed me the wound, and it looked pretty good. I was satisfied with it. I asked her to take a snapshot and send it over to Dr. Patel, make sure he was happy with it. But yeah, those bandages, people, after a while, those dressings really get irritating. They really can. Even I just had one on my neck for a short period of time, and it was really already starting to get a lot of redness around there. She may be ready to go to just a folded in half gauze with some of the paper tape or something like that. Hi, Jonathan. I love you too. Angel eyes, laugh out loud. Hey, man. Just talk, baby. Just talk. Be who you are. I don't care who you are. I love you anyway. It's just the way I am. Yeah, you're talking about her wound. Yeah, it looks better now. Mine looks fantastic. I keep telling people I got 2 strikes now. I got 1 strike here. I got to strike 2 here. And if I ever have to have strike 3, I'm out. I'm done. That's retirement for me if I have 3 strikes. Good. I really hope to see. I hope she does it when she does a video. Somebody let me know. Send me an email or ask her. Hopefully she'll send me an email. I'm not on here a lot. When she gets an email when she takes out the sutures, I really want to watch that because I want to see how well that wound has healed. I think it's going to heal really fantastic. What's funny is I got a picture of it that looked really good, and then I saw her live and it didn't look as good, and I think it was just the lighting or something. What time we got? It's 8 o'clock. I'm still good. I'm good for another 30 minutes, darling. How you doing over there?
I'm good.
Are you Facebooking? So our guys out in Florida, our editors, are setting up a Instagram for us. They're starting to work on it tonight.
You already have an Instagram.
Yeah, but they're starting up a new one.
Okay.
That was an old Instagram that we had those other folks that did for us. Let's see. Should she use lotion around the area? The problem is, did Jeff have a good? Yeah, good night, Jeff. Thanks for stopping by. The problem is if you put lotion on, then the adhesive won't stick. So lotion's not a good idea. Using a different kind of dressing might be a better, either a wider one where the adhesive doesn't kind of cover in the same area, or just fold gauze and tape that. You got your thyroid strike. Thank you, Debs. I don't want to miss that. Yeah, I've actually, from my second surgery, I've got a little bump here that's kind of developed, and I think that's some thyroid tissue that was kind of pushed up. It's really hard to tell. The anatomy has changed so much from the surgery in there. But anyway, it's set up. Good. Thanks. Good. Okay, guys. Got any more questions for me, or y'all want to call it a night? We have gone long. It's almost 2 hours. I think we're getting ready to call it a night. Should do my radio voice. Do I still sound really congested to you? A little bit.
Are you still on?
Yeah. We're just chatting. We're just hanging out. Got 21. Thanks, Barbara. Debs has a thyroid scar. Off here tonight. Talk to you later. Take care. You too, Judge. Ready to do other things. I went fishing this last weekend. It was exciting. It just energized me. Minneapolis says good night and thank you. Good night to you, Minneapolis. Stay warm. You guys got to be cold. Come back down. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna try to come on Mondays and Thursday nights if I can. Okay. We'll just try to do that, and you guys bring your questions and fun, and we'll have a good time. We'll try to do live stuff. All right, Burr, hugs to you. We're actually it's like 75 out here earlier, but we had a little cold snap the other day. Cold snap for us is 59. More horse now. All right, we're going to end it here. Thanks, guys. Love y'all. And Let's do it again, man. Do I have fan mail? You can email me. I'll put my email again. If you have a question, you want to just email me, you email me. If it's not too specific, I'll answer it for you. If it's too specific, I'll have to answer in general terms. I try to put that email address on most everything. So it's not a secret. All right, guys. DW is saying it's time to go, so I'm hanging up. Let's see you Thursday, and we'll talk to you again soon, okay? Have a great night. Bye-bye.